If you struggle with painting human eyes, then this video is for you. My name is Dimitra Milan, and I've been a professional artist since 2014, and I've painted hundreds of portraits, and I've worked with thousands of artists around the world, and I've noticed that there's these 4 things that most artists get wrong when painting eyes. So I'm gonna help you in this process today have really a lifelike and also effortless feeling eye study, and this process is really fun. We're gonna be working with oils, and I think you'll learn a lot from this, so it's gonna be a really fast-paced, quick little eye study lesson. And if you stay to the end of this video, we have an amazing giveaway planned to give away this entire oil starter kit. It's valued at $310. So we have our oil right here and our oil brushes and some linseed oil. So this whole thing we're gonna give away to someone at the end. And we also have a really nice bonus for everyone else who doesn't win. So you definitely wanna stick around. And I'll just get right into it. We also have Jake here, my husband, and he is gonna be answering questions in the chat because this is live right now, and this will be recorded too. So we'll just get started. And my source that I'm using is going to be my own eye. So I have warms right here, cools right here. If you're not super familiar with warm and cool oil paint, we really go in depth with that in our mastery program. It's a very interesting way to paint, and it will just really help you guys so much. But basically, all you need to know for this is that cools recede, warms come towards you. So I'm just kind of using the cools in any of the recessed areas around the eye. So I've noticed that a lot of artists just get kind of overwhelmed by painting eyes for some reason, and sometimes they can turn out a little bit cartoony. They can turn out a little stiff or creepy even if you get the colors wrong. And sometimes artists are missing those plane shifts that really give the eye the correct form and shape and help them be more, believable. So also, that was kind of 3 of the 4 things artists get wrong, but the last one is getting the whites of the eyes correct, because a lot of people think they should just mix plain white for the eye, and that is not the case. That will make your eyes look very cartoony. So we'll get more into that later. I'm just starting with a nice little transparent base, and I picked like an alizarin mixed with a little bit of Prussian blue. And I just went really lightly with this big brush. So basically, we're gonna be working in layers. And this is how you can combat that stiff feeling or having eyes that don't feel effortless, like too overworked or maybe cartoony. So working in layers will definitely help with all of that. So work with a big brush and then work your way down to a smaller brush. So I am just painting this eye alla prima, so all at once, and I'm mixing kind of a brownish complementary color, so I mix some sap green and some purple together, a little bit of yellow.
And are you just working in transparency right now?
Well, I mixed some of, this is opaque here. So because this is alla prima, I'm just gonna be mixing all of this at once, and I've started with a nice ground, so I'm kind of mixing opaque colors into the transparent sometimes. So I'm just looking at the eyebrow shape, and I'm really trying to have my brush strokes go with the form that I see. So this is just the initial blocking in. And when you're painting like the anatomy of eyes. And really anything in the human form, I mean, this goes for anything, any subject matter you want to paint, but specifically to get the human features right, you need to be very intentional about the proportions and knowing that things are in the right place. So if I just drop a line down from that eyebrow, like the edge of the eyebrow, then that's kind of the indent of my eye right there. So the corner part.
I just wanted to say too, if you're watching this live, then it is Dimitra's birthday today. So happy birthday to #1 artist in the world, in my opinion.
You're so sweet, Jake. Okay, so now I am using just the tip of my brush to kind of just sketch in very loosely the shape of the eye. And I'm looking at that crease right there. That's kind of a dark red color. So I used alizarin for that. And I'm using very straight angular lines, if you've noticed. Because if you make everything too round at first, your eye is going to start to look cartoony. So you want to make sure that you get the angles in. And you could also sketch your eye first before you paint. But I thought I would just show you just, you know, plain oils, what they can do.
Do you typically sketch first, or do you like to kind of sketch with the paint?
When I'm doing studies like this, I'll usually do painting only. But on larger paintings where I have a lot going on in the composition, I will sketch first. So this is just super loose, and I'm just still kind of feeling out the shape right now.
So what do you do if you mess up the proportions in this stage?
Well, this is a really loose stage in the process, and it's kind of finding its way, so things are not all perfect right now. And I wouldn't worry about that. Just keep using your big brush and try to just trust the process and just keep blocking in the darks. So now I'm going to move down to a smaller brush, and I really love using filberts like this. This is part of our mastery set, but it's just such a great brush you can use for so many different things, and I really love painting portraits specifically because it just, you'll see when I start adding opaques, you can capture the form really well. So I'm going to go a little bit darker, and I'm mixing just kind of all the transparents together to get a really dark, like almost black color. And I'm not paying attention to details quite yet. Like I'm not gonna focus on the eyelashes. Those kind of come last. So even though those are dark, I'm just working on the lash line for now. I think one mistake people do is they jump straight to details too soon because they're worried about getting it so perfect.
Dimitra, how do you go about choosing your color palette?
So today I went with a very basic color palette. This is just the primary and secondary colors, and it's basically this set right here that we're giving away. And I think I got the red wrong though. I grabbed a different red. So minus the red, everything else is right. And I just wanted to show that with a very basic set of colors, you can create a lot of different shades of skin tones and browns. So that is what I'm going to be demonstrating very soon.
Woohoo, I just wanted to shout out Jasmine Alvarado. She just joined the mastery program today. Congratulations. It's a life-changing experience. So excited for you.
So the more that you paint, the more you'll be able to really see all the colors that I'm gonna be seeing here. Like you will start to just, like I noticed there's even green here, purple. I have bags under my eyes, I guess. And there's peachy colors, there's more yellowy colors. So there's a lot of color happening, and you don't want to just oversimplify it and mix one skin tone and put it everywhere, because that will make your eye look very cartoony. So I'm starting with kind of a darker midtone and just noticing that it kind of goes this way and then it will go that way. So I'm making my brush strokes go with that movement. And you want to be shifting the color a little bit every time that you go to get more paint. So the crease of the eyelid and also that like lash line, they're gonna be kind of parallel to each other, and they're gonna be like in a line with the iris of the eye. So you wanna just make sure all those things are lined up, and then you're not gonna have a crooked eye. And a lot of people think like oils aren't very forgiving, but when you're painting like this, all in one sitting, you can easily wipe away something you don't like. So it is pretty forgiving, and you can just keep messing with it until you like it.
Dimitra, why do you think eyes are one of the most popular subjects in portraits, kind of more at large?
Well, in a portrait, it really matters. People go straight to the eyes, and you know, it's cheesy to say, but it's true that eyes are like the window to the soul. So it really, they carry a lot of emotion and can tell a lot of, like, create a lot of story in your painting. You don't want to just do a good enough job. You want to make sure that you're really learning how to paint them well.
Just wanted to shout out Jackie, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Is having a call tomorrow about joining the mastery program. So excited for you. Katie said, I was totally nervous about it, but now I'm almost halfway through part 2 of the mastery program and only wish I had started sooner.
That's so cool. So you also might have noticed that I'm ignoring all the highlights. I'm really just working on midtones right now. So I kind of mixed a teal color for that shadow right here under the eyelashes. And it's the white of the eyes are not just white. There's a lot of different colors mixed in. Parts of it are kind of like right here is a little more peachy. It's kind of a bluish gray color. So you're gonna mix a lot of complements to get the color right.
If you would like to give Dimitra a zero-cost birthday present, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're on your phone, you might see the button hype next to it. We'd love it if you hyped it.
So to get some nice flesh tones, you really want to focus on mixing complementary colors together. So to get this kind of brown tan highlight color, I mixed a little bit of Indian yellow with a cobalt violet and some white, and it has some leftover orange and red also mixed in there, but it created a very nice skin tone.
And Dimitra, you're using Galkid as the medium?
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm using some Galkid mixed in, and this, I'm not reusing a ton of it because I'm using a lot of opaque colors, but I do like to mix Galkid in because it will help the paint dry very fast and be very smooth to work with.
Some people are wondering, what is the panel that you're painting on?
This is just a regular canvas panel.
Okay.
I think it's Friedrich's.
Friedrichs. And it's also Austin's birthday. Happy birthday, Austin. So many students in the chat talking about how much they love the mastery program.
So I've kind of saved that eyelid color right here for later. I've been working kind of everywhere else around it and then kind of adding that color last. So this is a warm because it's coming towards us a bit more, and I'm kind of adding a little highlight right here because this is going to be where the eye is looking.
Woohoo, congratulations to Grace. She just sold her first assignment in the mastery program. Wow. Love to hear that.
That's so exciting.
Shanna just started the mastery program this month and is loving it. Kathy said that she's an established artist and, to be honest, wasn't sure if she would learn much from the mastery program, but decided to try it, and it was the best decision she ever made.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, that's such a great
What an
testimony. Thank you for sharing that. I think painting eyes, you really got to just keep looking at your source to make sure you're getting the form in the right spots. And now I'm going to move down to a tinier brush to get some details in. I'm really just painting this dark red kind of corner of the eye.
Dimitra, it's amazing how quickly you've created this eye. That's it. No further comment. Wow, so awesome. So many master program students are in the chat right now. For all the master program students, I just did an hour-and-a-half long call with our Society of Professional Artists members, and we're actually going to share the recording of that live with the master program students in the marketing and business section. We went over art business models, and different offers that you can make to attract customers, whether you're a complete, by the time you get to the business section, whether it's the first time you've ever tried selling your art or you're an established artist who is already selling your artwork. So that's going to be highly beneficial, I think, and I'm super excited to share. We just finished the recording, and we'll be sharing that in the next few days. So Mastery students, look out for that.
So I mixed a very kind of grayish blue color right here for the white of the eye. And it's, again, not using plain white. There's yellow in there, there's ultramarine blue, a little bit of like a teal color. And there's, yeah, just a lot of color happening within the white of the eye. So to get it more lifelike, you want to add as much of those variations as you can. And I think another thing to watch out for is you want to have very soft edges. You don't want things to be too harsh, especially around like the iris and, you know, the bottom of the eye. You need very delicate, thin lines and not have it be too harsh feeling. And that's how you'll avoid having creepy eyes. Or just an eye that's feeling too stiff.
Dimitra, could you explain a little bit more about your color mixing methodology for the eyes?
So I'm really sticking to complementary colors and using a lot of red and orange as the base for the skin tones, and then throwing some complementary like green or purple into it to shift the color a little bit. And I think by sticking with a very traditional palette like this, it will teach you a lot about skin tones and you'll get more confident. So especially if it's overwhelming, then just stick to a small palette like this. So you don't have to, you know, this is style-wise, like you can make it more your own with brush strokes, and as long as your brush strokes are going with the form that you see, you can be expressive and even change the color a bit as well. So that's where, you know, your own personal style comes in. But as long as you have the darks and highlights and midtones in the right place, then you can kind of shift the color however you want.
And if you want to be eligible for the giveaway, make sure that you are subscribed. That's a new thing, I believe, new feature we're tapping into. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. It's also a zero-cost way to support us making more lives like this in the future.
So the more you can stretch your eyes to see different colors within each shape, like for this iris, you know, I have brown eyes, but as I zoom in on this, I'm seeing green and yellow and kind of purple. So it's changing and shifting. And this green color here that I mixed is really helping this come to life. So don't oversimplify it and just add the same color everywhere. You want to really kind of stretch yourself to add more colors into it.
And if you're watching a recording of this in the future, congratulations, you're a time traveler. Just kidding. But isn't that cool how technology lets us do that? What I wanted to say, though, in all seriousness, is that we do plan on doing more of these giveaways for the people who are watching us live. So make sure to tune in to us live. We're live most Wednesdays and Thursdays, sometimes Tuesdays, sometimes Mondays. Usually at the same time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to request time off work early if you're working. And if not, be here.
Okay, I'm saving the eyelashes for the very end and also the little highlights.
Dimitra, how do you typically go about choosing a reference image for a portrait? I know that this is just an eye, and you took the picture of your eye in the kitchen right before we drove over here. So,
yeah. How do I pick like a normal portrait reference? Well, I don't know. It depends on the feeling I'm going for in the painting. Sometimes I'll get a very specific idea or image in my head that I want to paint. And I will sometimes, lately I've been creating my own source images of people on Midjourney. And I've been really liking how that's been turning out. And I'll use even ChatGPT to help me write the right kind of prompt for Midjourney so that I get like the results I'm looking for, because ChatGPT understands way more than what Midjourney understands. So that's how I've been creating my sources. But it starts, I would say, with like a specific pose or emotion that I'm going after. Okay, I think it's time to add the eyelashes. And now something you can do at the end is take a very dry brush and kind of softly scumble over some edges to get that very soft, blurry edge. And you don't have to do that everywhere, but maybe just a few spots that you want to be softer. Because eyes are a very delicate feature in the face, and you don't want things to be too harsh. So for the eyelashes, I'm just mixing all these transparents together to get a really dark color. And again, I'm following the form. These are not going to be random, like all going the same way. I'm going to have these go with the form that I see. So I think it's good to use a small brush, and you just have to go for it and not be scared about it. I think that they will make the eye feel very finished.
So many people asking about when the 4th season of The Outstanding Artist is coming out. To be announced. We are working hard basically every day.
It's being edited right now.
Yep, probably this moment. We have a team of editors working on it. It's about 40 terabytes of footage in total. I don't even know how many hours it is. So.
Okay, and don't forget the bottom lashes. That will really make your painting more realistic. So they're obviously a lot thinner and smaller, but it will help.
Time does fly when Dimitra paints, so we're going to, we are at just around 30 minutes into the live. We have another like 5 to 10 minutes here, but we're gonna get ready to start doing the giveaway.
Yay!
So make sure that you are subscribed and commenting in the live chat. And if you're not watching the live, stick around. We still have a consolation prize, also for everyone else who's watching live. But
So I'll do a quick overview too of everything that I did today.
awesome. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do that after we announce the winner?
Let
Maybe-
me just,
Maybe after.
okay.
You keep painting.
Yeah, I'm still adding, I still have to do the highlights.
Everyone in the chat, keep commenting.
I might have given myself a little bit more eyelashes, okay. So whoever wins this set is perfectly set up to start painting portraits. This is the perfect portrait starter kit, mixing all the right flesh tones.
Okay, the software is in the process of choosing the person from the live chat in this moment.
I think my favorite part to painting eyes is adding those little dots right there.
Okay, I have the winner selected. We'll be announcing the winner soon here. Let's do that after the after you do
Overview?
the
Okay.
overview.
All right, so basically, I have these notes right here for you guys. Maybe you've been able to see that the whole time, I'm not sure. But here's what a lot of artists get wrong with eyes, and then here's how to fix it. So the main thing is to work in layers and work with a big brush, moving down to smaller brushes, and you're not trying to get it perfect with each layer. You're just slowly building towards more refinement. And I think it's so crucial when painting eyes to have the right angles and plane shifts in place. That's how you'll avoid those stiff and cartoony looking eyes. So make sure that you start with getting the angles in, and then you can slowly, soften or round things out. But I think this process is really fun, and Alla Prima works well if you're just doing a little eye study like this. And another thing, we mixed a lot of complementary colors together to get these flesh tones. So I worked dark to light. You saw me do like a ground, some darker colors, and then really getting into the creases, adding all the darks, and then midtones, and then highlights at the very end. So that was the process, and the more that you practice, the easier it'll be.
Okay, let's announce the winner of the oil painting starter kit with those fantastic tubes of oils. I think we got 12 tubes of oils. We got a subtraction tool. We have a set of brushes. And is that what, linseed oil? What medium is that?
Yep, this is linseed oil. This is a really fun subtraction tool. I use that all the time. And then, yeah, the best brushes ever.
And our
ever.
fast drying white too.
Yeah, this is fast drying, so when you mix it into all this paint, you can have your paint dry within a day in most places.
Okay, so the winner of the giveaway this time is, drumroll please, just kidding, we don't have a sound technician yet, Sabiha W. So Sabiha, congratulations. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but you won the oil painting starter kit, which is $310, and we will ship it to you for free. So super excited for you. Everyone else, we do have a consolation prize. So what we're doing is we have this amazing portrait course that Dimitra's mom teaches, which is start to finish how to paint a beautiful portrait every single time, not just an eye, but an entire portrait from start to finish, working from loose and messy and chaotic and fun and expressive to rendered and beautiful and expressive still. It is a ton of fun, and it's normally $85, but for our wonderful subscribers here on YouTube, the first 1,000 people to sign up for that are gonna get $40 off. So almost 50% off of the class, and you get to try it out. So if you've been thinking about taking the mastery program, you hear all the amazing students who join us live watching this who are like, wow, I love the program so much. It was life-changing. And you're not quite sure if you want to take that leap yet. The How to Paint a Beautiful Portrait Every Time is an amazing class to just get started with. And only the first 1,000 students are going to get that discount. So make sure to go check it out. The link is in the description. I'm also, if you're watching live, posting it in the chat as well and pinning it, and just did that. So go check that out. It's also pinned in the comments too. Again, only the first 1,000 people are gonna get that. And we have another video that is also sharing this 1,000. And so we've had almost 100 students already take us up on that offer. And that video only has a little over 6,000 views. So if this video does really well, that 1,000 is gonna go fast. So you definitely wanna make sure you get that, whether you're watching this today or a month from now or sometime in the future. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. It is always so much fun to watch Dimitra paint, and I can say that very confidently because I'm not only her husband, but her biggest fan as well. And if you're watching all the way to the end, then chances are that you enjoyed watching her paint too. So show Dimitra some love on her birthday. Go get yourself a beautiful portrait class. Learn how to paint beautiful portraits every time. And yeah, Thank you for joining us. Dimitra, anything you want to say before we conclude?
Well, this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys give this process a try, and I think you'll learn a lot from it. So we'll see you next time.